Welcome to our show. Cheers. So, I just got really awkward for a second.
It's okay.
I can always edit it. Welcome to our show. I guess it's a morning game show with coffee, but it's just a game show for us, and there's no prize except for the ability to kiss one another. We'll get to that at the end.
No prize other than the memories we've made.
Okay, we're going to give you the premise. So there are 4 categories. Each category has a question. I will read out the categories to Tiff, and these questions Tiff has never seen before, okay? We have not previously discussed this. Tiff will pick 2 categories to answer from, and then I will take the other 2. And then that's the show.
I'm just happy to be here.
Also, as watchers, we encourage you to also answer the questions in the comments. Let us know if you have a category idea, and your name and what your astrology sign is, and then, we'll go from there. So, are you ready, honey? I don't know how much mic time is left, or how much time is left on this mic attached to a knife. Okay, are you ready for the categories?
Yes.
Cheers. The categories will switch up every week, okay? This week's categories are Relatia-Scary, Queer Audacity, Crush on You, Hope Floats. Which category would you like first?
The middle 2.
Okay, let's start with Crush on You, okay? The question is, say you were receiving an award for something that you are really, really proud of. Which celeb or influencer would you want in the front row?
I have no clue. I feel like I wouldn't necessarily want like a celebrity there. I would want people who I actually like have meaningful relationship with.
I say like celeb influencer loosely, like it could be someone that you look up to in like the D&D community, a writer.
But what's the reward? What's the award? I'm sorry, I'm like asking for greater stipulations.
Me already knowing my answer.
Okay, let me ask it to you then.
Wait, no, that's not how it works.
I don't have an answer for this one.
Is this too contextual for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Can I ask this one to you instead?
Yes.
Okay. Here. Cute.
No,
Cute. No, let's do this. Let's do this. The category is Crush on You. Say you're receiving an award for something you're very proud of. Which celeb or influencer would you want in the front row?
You.
Yeah. I mean, but I'm not a celebrity or an influencer.
Yes, you are.
I see where I failed here. I see. I've simply failed.
What do you think?
I feel like Alok.
I do love Alok so much. That's actually a really good answer. I was thinking, I honestly don't know why I'm saying this, but I think Margot Robbie keeps popping into my head because she's a delight. Do I know her? No. Do I love her work? Yes. I just think she'd be good vibes. And I think that she would be like, yay! I know that's more of a shallow answer, but that's what's popping into my mind right now.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
And close second would be Alok, I'd say. Are you ready for your category? Queer Audacity. And Tiff's going to answer this one. Right now, without overthinking, what's something you've never done before that you truly believe Queer Audacity could help you do?
Build a tiny home.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
I don't know about the plumbing or the electricity, but I feel like, you know what? I feel like I could figure out how to frame a house. Like do the framing
Definitely.
for it. I feel like upholstery I could probably do as well.
When I was writing these, I thought to myself, Tiff's going to say build a home.
I would love to build us a home.
The chickens.
I would love to build you a home. Figure out. I wouldn't want to like figure everything out with the house that we're going to live in. I feel like I would want to try a bunch of different projects with other experts first.
The chewing is really distracting me. Don't! Bring it back. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's not even like picking up on the mic. Is the mic still on? So I guess it's my turn then.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm reading one. What do you want to choose?
I'll do Relatia-Scary.
Relatia-Scary.
Okay. Yeah.
What's the most frighteningly awkward pickup line that's been used on you?
Okay, so I was at Bible camp. I don't know. I mean, I guess I do know contextually why we threw around pickup lines at Bible camp all the time, because it's Bible camp and everyone...
Repression.
Correct. So I'm at Bible camp. I'm 16, and it's just another day. You know, we've probably like had a prayer session and sang a little bit. And I say this with so much love in my heart for Bible camp. I met amazing people there. This is not a dig at all. But this guy comes up to me, also similar in age, like 15, 16, I don't know. And he had picked something up off the ground and he had it in his hand and he just came up to me and he held it out and he said, "Want a screw?" Want a screw?
That's wretched.
And I was like, what? He was like, "Ah, screw." Within the context of the whole, like everything, it was so weird because you're at Bible camp and then you're teenagers, you're just holding a lot in. And I was just like, a screw? Yeah. But I guess if we're talking about in the real world at a bar, wait, can I tell my favorite pickup line that I used on other people?
Yes. Okay.
It really worked like a charm in my hometown. I have to emphasize it doesn't work in Toronto because you have to know enough people to, there has to be like a few degrees of separation. But I would, if I found someone cute, I would go up to them in the bar and I'd say, "Hey," like I knew them. And then, well, at the time I thought, I believed that I was completely straight, so it was always a man. But I go, "Hey," and they go, "Hey." And I'd say, "It's so nice to see you again." And they'd be like, "I don't know you." And I'd say, "Yes, you do. We went to high school together." And they'd say, "What high school did you go to?" And then I'd tell them the name of my high school. And we just keep going until we found a match. So I would just pretend. I'd say like, "Oh, maybe it wasn't high school. What courses are you in? What university are you at?" Because there's two universities and one college in my hometown. And then they'd name it. And then, "Oh, that's it. Well, do you know this person?" And I'd name someone that's really popular with a lot of friends until eventually we landed on someone. And then they go, "Oh, okay. Nice to see you again. Yeah. Okay, cool. You know Dan? Awesome."
That feels less like a pickup line and more like a pickup strategy.
It is. I'm telling you, it worked every single time. And actually, I did it to this one dude via DM though, where I just thought he was cute. We went back and forth and we actually had a class together, which was so funny. And he was like, "Great, I'll see you in class on Monday." I ended up dropping the class, but we did date for 6 months.
Huh.
Yeah. Ryan.
Shout out Ryan.
Shout out to Ryan. Anyways, that was a really long answer. I'm sorry.
I'm glad that you got that question card. 'Cause I don't think anyone's ever used a pickup line on me.
That is a crime.
Or if they did, I just like did not understand. Is probably more likely.
If you were going to pick me up right now, what would you do?
I don't know. I don't really have a strategy. I just kind of let things happen organically, which is such a boring answer.
If you saw me across from a crowded bar?
Honestly, I'd probably leave you alone. I'd probably think, wow, what a beautiful person. They're probably taken. I'm just going to give them space.
Okay. So you go like this. On to the next.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So we've done Queer Audacity. We've done Relatia-Scary. We've done Crush on You. And now we're on Hope Floats. That's for you, baby.
Talk to me.
What is a hopeful thought, memory, quote, or line from a movie that got you through an impossibly hard or traumatic time? So it's a little bit more deep. Or I'm like, the category is hope floats, but it could just be something meaningful that pulled you through. Could be literally anything. Quote, mantra, movie scene, like line from a movie, line from a book.
I can't. Honestly, like what's coming to my mind currently, I feel like when I really needed hope, I probably wasn't watching a lot of like really hopeful, gentle movies.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think I was consuming media that was generally hopeful, but I think there was something really beautiful and poetic about Her, the movie with like Joaquin Phoenix, Scarlett Johansson. It's like sci-fi, but in a hopeful manner. A lot of sci-fi stuff you see, it's like The Matrix. It's like kind of cyberpunk. It's, wow, I'm blanking. It's like Blade Runner. It's like dark, it's dingy, and it lacks any sort of, it's basically like a certain lawlessness and like oppressive governments and yada yada, which is like fair, reasonable, fair subjects to explore. But I found the movie to be very sincerely hopeful. And while like the main protagonist, Joaquin Phoenix's character, and Scarlett Johansson, like the AI essentially, while they like didn't come together, I think the movie and the premise of it gave the character an opportunity to see into himself and understand that like it felt like a safe landing zone for him to find something meaningful, and knowing that he could connect with another human being and move on from a separation that he had. It was meaningful in the sense that he had a meaningful relationship, period, even if it ended, even if, you know, the AI dissolved into a different level of consciousness within the global network.
So because it's a very layered answer, my love. Thank you for that. So what I'm hearing is that because of the nature of how the characters were written, it maybe gave you an opportunity as well to go into yourself deeper.
Yeah, I think it was like bittersweet. I think it gave context to some relationships are meaningful by virtue of them existing. They can be grand, but they don't necessarily have to span the test of time. Sometimes some relationships are there to get you through one part of your life, or like one way of understanding who you are.
It's like that saying, a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Basically. TLDR, that's what it is.
TLDR. I love that. Good job. That's the categories. That's the grammar. Those are the categories. Good job, baby.
Good job to you.
How do you feel about that?
I think you're the winner of this one.
Are we just proclaiming me the winner for what reason?
Well, I feel like the structure of it was that like you win something at the end.
Little kiss kiss. That's how it goes. So that's the game. Let us know what categories. I don't know if anyone's going to see this video. Hopefully people watch. We'll keep making the categories until you guys comment.
I'm really excited. I'm excited to hear about your hopeful movie
me too.
situation, because like that's what I'm currently thinking, but I don't know if there was one that was like the thing. I watched really depressing movies.
I can honestly think of so many hopeful. I just cling on more to the sad.
Same.
Oh my God. If we're going to talk about this super quick before we end, I have a lot of trauma, as we both do. And I was not a crier until after I went to trauma therapy. And it was this whole thing when I was younger, so in my early 20s, that I would just never cry in anything. Like in any movie, people were sobbing and I'd just be sitting there. Except one movie freaking broke me.
Patch Adams.
Yes. Movie's Patch Adams with Robin Williams. I don't know. I watched it for the first time and I've never got over it. But I don't want to spoil the movie, but
been out for a minute.
It has. So Robin Williams, okay, watch Patch Adams. It's super sad and based on a true story, but Robin Williams is a doctor and he's engaging in medicine more unconventionally. And he forms a bond with another doctor. It hints that they date and
Queer subtext.
no.
I don't know if the other doctor is a man or a woman.
A woman.
Oh, okay.
And anyways, there's this patient that they treat that it's kind of indicative that he has a dark side, and Patch Adams is like, it's okay. Like he's good. Like you don't have to worry. So I don't know if I'm explaining this, but the person he's seeing, she goes to the patient's house to treat him, and the patient unalives her. And
I haven't seen this movie.
And Patch Adams and her had been sitting on the hillside outside their clinic reading something. Again, I'm paraphrasing this from watching it like in the 90s. And he had read her the first part of this poem and they get interrupted. So he said, I'll finish it later. And he never finishes it later. She passes away. And I'm telling you, the funeral comes and he's at the back of the funeral because he's obviously feeling ashamed because he's like, I did this. And when everyone clears out, he walks up to where she is and pulls out the piece of paper. I honestly can't. And I know this, like it's like, I love you without knowing when or how or why. I love you without this and that. It's like a sonnet. And he pulls it out and I literally started sobbing. I was like, ah! I can't even talk about it right now. It's so sad. Still to this day. I feel like I just rambled, but
I feel like that to me, that tells me that it's meaningful in the sense that you want to say what you mean wholeheartedly so you don't end up in the same situation.
He pulls it out, and when it's just the two of them, he's like, I told you I'd finish it. No. It's honestly so sad. I can't talk about it.
It gives like the first 11 minutes of Up.
I haven't seen Up. Why are we talking about sad things? No.
But the movie is also in a way hopeful because it's like, you know, you're just watching this person who experienced such significant grief and loss, and you're watching this older man essentially develop a new life and like new dream, new hope, or continuing the dream that he had with his wife that they couldn't have.
They weren't married.
I know, but I'm saying,
so it's like they were.
Yes, I know, yeah. But like the sentiment and the grief are parallel.
It's funny that I keep holding on to that when we watch movies, we just think about the sad parts versus the hopeful ones.
I mean, I'm now in thinking of hope. I'm just thinking of that one, or not necessarily hope, but I think of the absurd. So obviously, I'm thinking of everything, everywhere, all at once. There's this scene with Harry Shum riding a raccoon, and we'll leave it at that.
I mean, and that's the episode, my friends. Well, I just burped. We'll see you next week.
I'm your private dancer, dancing for money.